We have a man who needs no introduction, who has agreed to share with us his experiences with scanning, something that will save us all a lot of space, help us get rid of paperwork, and without further ado, take it away. JJ.
LCACE, what's that stand for? Okay, as you can see, we're going to do a presentation about scanning. It's a premier presentation. I don't know why it's a premier, but anyhow. All right, scanners. This would be scanning 101, but I call it scanners. What I'm going to talk about today is different types of scanners. My name is Dwight J.J. Johnson. Just call me JJ, call me Message to Dwight. Over the years, I have become what is referred to as a digital pack rat. Okay? And since computers have come about, everything that I have on my computer is digital. Anything that comes across my desk nowadays, whether it be bills or receipts or whatever, I take and I scan it to a digital file. Photos I scan to digital files, and everything else comes from. So you see magazine articles, purchase receipts, cooking recipes. I love to cook, and Judy can contest that I have tons and tons of cookbooks. If I find a recipe in the cookbook, rather than keeping the whole book, I tear the recipe out and I scan it and save it into a digital file. Playbills, Mike can contest to that, and so Linda and Judy, I love to go to the theater. A lot of people take their playbills and throw them away, but I scan all mine. When we go to Marriott Theater, Mike likes to look at the playbill and find out if we have seen this actor or actress before. And I can go back and look at the playbills in the past and find out which other programs they've been in. Photos. Back in the 60s, I was in the military. 64, I was stationed in the Philippines, and I got a chance to go to the 1964 Olympics. Back in the 60s, I was shooting a lot of slides. Everybody remember slides? Well, I had not thousands, but hundreds of slides. And over the years, I converted all those to digital files, all organized on my computer, and I can go back to 1964 and find all those files that I created, because they're all digitized. Okay. Family photos, trips, military, everything. When I was in the military for about 20 years, I scanned all the pictures, all the places I've been. Talk about family photos. My mother moved in with me about 10, 12 years ago, and she had all these pictures in boxes. So I got together with my mother one time, and we scanned all of those pictures and made them digital files. Then I sat down with her over a couple of days or weeks and had names attached to all these people. Some I knew, some I didn't know, but they're all digital files now. Documents, birth certificates, death certificates, deeds, bill of sales, medical records, taxes, bills, and I said manuals. Every time you buy something, don't you get a manual with it? Tells you how to operate it? Yeah. Over the years, I used to keep these manuals in a manila envelope, stuff them into a file cabinet, and over a period of time, the file cabinet got overwhelmed. So then I started scanning these manuals and making them digital files up under a folder called the manuals. Household, yard, whatever. Just got a new snowblower a couple weeks ago. Now, if you know about my projection of snowblowers, every time I buy a new one, we don't get snow. Okay? But that manual for my new snowblower is now digitized on my computer. Digital pack rats. Are you buried in clusters? Up to your whatever and cluster? On your desk? On the table? Whatever. All these magazines, papers, bills, whatever, are cluttered. So what do you do? Does your file cabinet look like that? I had a file cabinet that looked like that at one time, busting with papers all over the place. So I needed help. Computers help me get rid of this clutter by scanning it. Whether it be documents, whether it be bills, whatever. Scanners. There are various types of scanners out there, whether it be a hand scanner, flatbed, dedicated photo scanners, document scanners, all-in-one printer type scanners, and some of you may own these new type of scanners that are all-in-one that has a scanner in it, scans photos, prints and everything. But here again, it will scan and digitize files for you. And then there are 3D scanners, and I'll show you one of those a little later on. Scanner, what is it? It's a device that captures images, converts them to a digital type file, whether it be a PDF or a JPEG, whatever, and lets you store it on your computer. That's basically what a scanner is. There are other types of scanners out there, like police scanners, which some people may have in their car, but we're not going to talk about those, right? First one we're talking about is a hand scanner. Many, many years ago, we had a past member in our group named Robin Seidenberg. And her and I had a little competition going all around buying newest toys. We got into this competition about hand scanners. There were several of them out there, but one of the ones that I like is the one I'm going to show you a bit later on. But what is a hand scanner? It's a little device like that allows you to scan things out of a book, a magazine, a document, whatever. When I was working at the base, I became a digital graphic artist. All the manuals we had, we couldn't tear them apart, and there was pictures in there that I wanted to put in my presentation, so I used a hand scanner, converted that picture or whatever into a document, and I was able to put it into a digitized presentation. Viewpoint, one of the #1 sellers in hand scanners. Okay, portable, 2-in-1 device. The newer ones has a little LED screen on it that allows you to see the pictures once you scan them. Directly scans to an SD card. There again, what size card you put is up to you. And the newer ones are also rechargeable, so you charge it, you can take it portable. That's the big thing, it's portable.
Quality, speed, accuracy, and versatility. A whole new dimension to scanning with the Magic Wand portable scanner by Viewpoint Solutions. You can scan carpeting, curtains, or virtually any other flat surface with the Magic Wand. Increase your resolution up to 1200 dpi just by connecting to the auto feed dock. It will surprise even the toughest critics. Preview your scans down to the last detail on a color LCD panel with 8x zoom. Mac and Windows compatible, and a built-in rechargeable battery means you can scan wherever you are. Our bonus Paperport 14 software allows you to edit and adjust your scans. You can also easily organize and archive for an easy retrieval when needed. With Magic Wand, you'll always scan right.
As you said, it can do almost anything you want to do, but it's portable. Scan magazines, whether you're inserting something out of a magazine, you can scan the book and scan that page, whether it be a picture, text, or whatever. You can take it to the library. We know that we can check out library books, but they don't want us to tear the pages out of library books, right? All right, so we can take a little portable scanner in there. Family photos. You can scan family photos for friends or yourself. Magazines, as I talked about, I like receipts, I like articles. Something you want to keep, whether it be your magazine or somebody else's magazine, you can scan it and now make it a digital file for you to keep on your computer. Photos. As I talked about photos once before, you scan personal photos. Once I'll talk about that later on, because I have another one that I take to a family reunion. People have photos, old photos of family, whatever, that you may want a copy of. And you don't have a scanner, big scanner that you can use, you can take a little portable scanner and scan that picture. Several years ago at our family reunion, somebody came out with a photo album, old pictures of our family. And I wanted copies of it, so I had my little scanner with me. In this case, I had the flatbed, and I was able to scan those pictures and bring them home and organize them later on. That's something.
A long time ago, I used one of those wand scanners that go from that so that can hold my hands still. How do you compensate for if you're not very good at it, you're not going to
Practice makes perfect. Yes, when I first got them, I had a problem with them too. But the thing about it, once you practice with it, you run it across really slowly and straight, whether you use 2 hands, slowly across a piece of paper, whatever, they work. But it takes practice. Yes, Fred.
Look, I think most of the software comes with automatic adjustment.
Yes, some of them do. Yes, they will take a line of the paper or the document for you. Question about me?
I was just wondering, it doesn't look like per se it's changed a lot since it first came.
No, it hasn't. They just got better, higher resolution, And here again, simpler to
But the
use.
price hasn't really it's come down. more than-
Yes, they have. And here again, I'll show you the one I got
Yeah.
with this one here. It's a combination with the docking station, which is basically the price I paid for the original one, the one I held up earlier. All right? And as I said, also magazines, you can scan magazines. The one I have here for the table comes with a docking station. I just bought this about a year ago. But the docking station allows you to put the hand scanner in the docking station, and you can run paper through it, automatic feed for pictures or photos. As you can see, it comes out of the docking station, which I have here. With the docking station, you put your paper or picture in it, and you can scan it. All right? Formats, JPEG, PDF, resolution 300 to 1200 DPI, and it does color or monotype pictures. SD card slides on the side of it. This uses a real small SD cards, which you got to be careful because these things are easy to lose. And I've done that. Not really lost, but misplaced, especially put them on your desk and get stuff under the clutter. You got to go find it. Docking station comes with a carrying case and a cleaning cloth, just like I said, this is the newest one I bought about a year ago. And that's all the stuff it comes with. Just recently, I ran across this desktop camera scanner from this new company. Well, it's not really new, it's been around for a while. But this one's great for if you want to scan books and turn books into e-publications. Almost like the desktop scanners that you may have seen in school or whatever. Or if you go to the library, they have one now to read your cards and read your books. That's basically what this does. And it's really neat. I haven't gotten one yet, but it's on my wish list. Maybe Christmas. But as you can see, it's overhead scanner. Put your book on the pad, whatever, and it scans it. It gives you 2 cameras, and it's really good for doing presentations. I just found out about this a couple weeks ago, but I'm looking at getting one. All right. So there's another way of scanning from a distance, not laying on a flatbed type scanner, and you can take books like before and put them in the scanner, and it recognizes your page turning. As you turn the pages, it takes a snapshot of the pages, and you can take a whole book you want to now and turn it into a digital file. They make 2 versions of this. One's $199, and the other version, Pro, is $299. This is what it looks like standing up. USB powered, scans books, documents, passports, drawing, whatever. And this one here folds up, comes with a mat, stick it on the mat, folds up, easy to carry around. Almost as easy to carry around as a hand scanner. This is showing how it scans books. Put the book on it, lay it down. And the $299 one comes with a little button on the side where you scan it. Push the button and scan the page. You just flip the page and it scans the next page. Turning the whole book. Time consuming, but it will turn a book or whatever magazine or whatever you want to a digital file for you.
Question. At the, you see the orange part? Is it kind of distortion?
Here again, recognition, OCR recognition, it generally will sit there and align the page for you. You want to make sure you put the book down, align in the first place and make it easier for it, but yes. I've been reading up on this in the last couple of weeks. And like I said, I just got this email maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago that I decided to put in my presentation. Then we're going to talk about flatbed scanners. A lot of you have probably seen flatbed scanners in the past. They've come a long way from the original ones came out. Basically what it does here is a typical flatbed scanner is a scanner. You flip up the lid, put your document or picture on top of it, and it makes it pass and scans your picture. The thing about these here, again, most of the newer ones will scan 1 picture or scan multiple pictures that you may have on the flatbed. So it makes it easy to scan more than 1 picture at a time. Like everything else, it scans small pictures up to 300 DPI with high resolution. This one here is the one I have by Epson. I think I've had a couple of them by Epson. But a scanner provides a flat glass surface, holds a sheet of paper, that object, and scans it from the head moving down under the glass sheet. Now I have a portable one up here by Canon, They get much larger than this, but as you know, you just open up the page, open up the top of it, put your sheet of paper, picture on top, whatever you want to, and it passes a scanner up under the sheet and scans the paper. The reason I bought this one is I talked about a family reunion, or with my mother. We went to Ohio several years ago, and she had some pictures from one of my cousins that she wanted to keep. So I took the scanner, we went over to my cousin's house, and I scanned all the pictures my mother wanted with this one here. So this one here fits in my case of my laptop computer. Also portable as compared to the larger one, which I keep on my desk. But scanners of all types are really nice to have.
What's the brand name on that one?
That one's a Canon.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I said, I bought that several years ago. I haven't seen it advertised lately, but you'll probably be able to find it. The bigger desktop scanners range between about $150 all the way up to a couple of thousand. The pro photographers use the higher resolution ones. And this type of scanner, you can also use, watch the video right quick.
Perfection V600 color scanner delivers extraordinary quality and versatility to those who demand superior performance for their home, office, or school. You'll receive amazing imagery production.
If you want to later on, this presentation is up on the website. Okay, the presentation and document is all up on the website.
Up to 17 inches by 22 inches.
You showed the word iris one point earlier.
Yeah.
That's one of the best ones, right? Especially when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Photo archives. Remarkable digital ice technology for both film and prints automatically removes defects, erasing scratches and dust from film, and fixing creases and tears on prints, saving you money and costly photo retouching. With easy photo fix, you can restore favorable photos to their original color with one touch. The V600 comes complete with Adobe Photoshop elements to help you edit and enhance your digital images. Its ReadyScan LED light source uses less power while offering greater productivity, requiring no warm-up time and producing your scans more quickly. And no mercury means it's better for the environment. The V600 even includes ABBY FineReader Sprint Plus optical character reader software, so you can easily convert scanned documents into editable text. With its power, versatility, and outstanding quality, the Epson Perfection V600 photo scanner is the comprehensive solution for your scanning and imaging needs. Epson.
Okay, like I said, this is the Epson that I have on my desk at work, or actually at home, and it does a lot of my scanning for pictures. The thing I like about this one, basically scans photos, scans slides, scans film strips. The little attachment you see on the right-hand side is the attachment that goes on the scanner itself. Put it on the scanner, remove the cover, and it uses the light above and below to scan your film strips. Everybody know what a film strip is? Back in the old days when we had film strips and the old film camera and the strips, whether it be 136 or 126 or whatever, 110, 110. You can put them in these little holders, and it will take that film and scan it into a digital file. It will look at the separations in there and scan each individual picture separately. This is a better picture of slides. You put slides in it. As I said, back in the 60s, early 1964, I went to the Olympics in Japan, and I had tons and tons of pictures that I filmed or shot at the Olympics. So I was able with this one to turn all my slides into digital files. And as you can see, this is some of the features of this Epson: photo documents, USB powered, film scanning, and it will give you a really high resolution, up to 9600 dpi. Other features. The other features about this in the front, you have a OCR button. Everybody know what OCR is? Optical character recognition. So if you have a magazine or something or a text file that you want to scan and turn into a text file, optical character recognition will turn that into a text file. You can bring it into your document file like Word or whatever, and then edit it, save it, whatever. That way you don't have to sit there and retype, which I have done in the past. Retype a whole file or a whole document. Easy Text Photo Fix, and it's got the Photo Studio. The other thing, like I said, most of these scanners will come with some type of graphic editing program, like using Adobe Photoshop Elements or whatever. to help you organize or scan or edit your photos. Then we're going to get into photo scanners. For those of us who want to. Yes, Harriet.
Question. With the scanners, the old scanners didn't have anything for film strips or slides.
Yes.
And I have thousands of slides.
Yes.
Will this one do as good a job as the one that some of the libraries have, where you could go in and use their equipment?
Probably so. I don't know what the library has. I had one, an older one that actually fit into a slot of my computer for slides. And that worked for a while. I used it at work when I first started working. I had a lot of slides that we used to use at work in the naval base. And then we went to, I went to a dedicated external device, which I loaned to a friend of mine that she had a whole bunch of slides that she wanted to convert it. Unfortunately, I never got it back because she passed away on us, but now I've got this one here that does the same thing.
Do you, after you get them scanned,
Yes.
what, do you put them on like a DVR or a DVD?
You can put them any place you want to put them. Save them to your computer. If it's something you want to burn to a DVD or keepsake, you can do that. But it's up to you. Once you get them on your computer, you can do anything with these digital files you want to.
Right.
Send them to friends because they're
What's
people.
the best? You know, for the length of time.
From what I'm understanding, DVDs and DVRs have a life expectancy. Okay, you can get the archival ones, which says it has a life expectancy of 100 years. I've got some downstairs that I've had for about 20 years. I don't know if they're still good. My house, as I did a presentation a couple of months ago about backing up photos and stuff like that. I have 3 places all my photos are backed up to. I have a network hard drive, which has about 30 terabits in. I have a 10 or 20 terabit drive hooked up to my computer, and everything backed up to my cloud account. So they're actually in 3 different places. So I will probably, hopefully, never lose a picture. And I have over 50 years of photos floating around. So where you want to store them at is totally up to you.
Okay, thank you.
So, just a comment, the Wakanda Library has a technology department where you can check out things like this. And for slides, they have one similar to this Kodak that JJ has on page 2. And I also have thousands of slides, and the only problem with this is it's one slide at a time. And the old ones used to take like 3 minutes per slide.
Yes.
Now, it probably does it in 15 seconds or so at the highest resolution of the machine. And so you might want to look into whatever library is closest to you and see if they have a technology loan department.
They don't. Wow, they don't. And sometimes if you're not a member of that community, you can't use it. County is different.
Yeah, Lucky, if you look at this slide projector, this scanner right here, right there has the slide adapter in it. And you notice I have 4 slides in there, but slides are a film strip. What it will do, it will come down and scan each individual one separately and create a file for all 4. Now, like I said, depending on the product or the manufacturer, yes, slides take a while. It may take a minute or so for each one, but once you load 4, go get yourself a cup of coffee or 2 or a shot, and then come back, hopefully sober, and put some more in there and scan them. Yeah. All right. Next, we're going to talk about photo scanners. Digitize your memories. As I said, this is what I did for my mother, and I've done for my entire life. Some photo scanners are especially designed to scan negatives and slides. We already talked about negatives and slides, right? But some are designed especially for that purpose. And what I was telling you about this one here is sort of like the one they have in the library you can check out. I think this one here runs around about 100-something bucks. But as you can see, it has a film strip in it. It only scans one at a time, but you got to slide the strip through it, I believe. I'm not quite sure, I don't have one. But it also does slides. Film strips, as we said back in the old days when we had film type 135, 126, 110. The output, again, saving it to an SSD card or your computer is going to be in JPEG format. And it's saved to a USB card or a USB device that's plugged in the side of it. You can find this one here on Amazon. Gives you a little view at the top of it. Shows you how to operate it, which is simple, fairly simple. But if you have slides or film strips you want to scan, this may here again may fit your needs.
Do you ever output to a PNG, portable network graphics?
I do, for the simple reason, a lot of the graphics that you see here are PNG. For the simple, you get rid of the background.
Okay.
And I didn't go through, you can see some fringing on this one here, so I didn't go ahead and change the borders, I just stuck it in there.
Yeah.
The fringing is a little white you see around it. I like say, if I go into Photoshop and I say decrease the fringing here again, you just see the sharp edges. But all the files you see that don't have a white background on it, I save them as a PNG file. It gets rid of the background. Here again, that's something you want to get into when we talk about video editing. All right. Okay. Slides again, photos, different formats, and here again saves it to SID or SD file or USB you can transfer it to your computer. Two different types. Time to go paperless. Bob and I were talking about this earlier before the meeting. Get rid of those stacks of paper on your desk and bring them down to nothing, hopefully. I had that 4-drawer file cabinet at one time. I still have some stuff in it, but I minimalized it to very little. Everything that comes in my home now that I want to say turns to paperless or goes into the shredder after I finish it, especially if they got my name on it. Document scanners. Document scanners here again. Basically do the same scanning. They turn into an electronic file, and here can be printed or turned into computer digital files. That's that stack, right? That you want to get rid of. Quickly declutter your workspace. Create scannable PDF files. Something that you scan and you turn into a PDF file. A PDF file is portable document files. Something Adobe created many, many years ago. Double-sided scanning. Now, if you use a flash scanner, you can scan one side at a time. But if you use these dedicated document scanners, it scans both sides at a time. The one I have up here, and I'll talk about shortly, will hold up to 50 sheets. Stick them in there, zoom, 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 zoom. You took a whole bunch of papers, whether it be something from your finance company or whatever, it scans them all, both sides, and saves it as a PDF file. Some of these scanners have OCR in it, optical character recognition. So if you go back and look at that file and you want to search out a certain word in it, you can do that now that it's an OCR file. SnapScan. This is the one I have at home. I have two of them. I have one in my upstairs office and one in my downstairs office. There are other companies that make it. Canon makes one, Epson makes one, but this is the one I have. But basically they all work the same way.
Introducing the ScanSnap iX500, the most powerful desktop ScanSnap yet, with advanced GI processor technology. The ScanSnap iX500 brings a whole new level of ease of use and productivity to home, small office, and now the world of mobile devices. Ease of use is at the very heart of ScanSnap. Just lift the lid, place your stack of paper in the document feeder, and press the scan button. That's it. ScanSnap iX500 quickly scans both sides of each page into crystal clear PDF or JPEG images at a blazing 25 pages per minute. And with the most advanced ScanSnap feeder system yet, even those tough documents are easy to scan. And now, with the option to connect ScanSnap wirelessly to your PC or Mac, finding that perfect spot for ScanSnap has never been easier. Got a tablet or smartphone? Expand your scanning options with the PC-less scanning function. By installing the free ScanSnap Connect app, you can now scan a PDF or JPEG file wirelessly to your mobile device without even powering up your computer for a whole new level of time savings and convenience. Alongside exceptional hardware performance, ScanSnap performs intelligently as well. As each sheet passes through, ScanSnap can make PDF files searchable, automatically determine if their color, set the proper crop size and orientation of each page, and even remove blank sides. And a new bleed-through detection feature cleans away unwanted noise from your scans. all working in the background to produce great results fast. ScanSnap iX500 is a powerhouse of features, and the new customizable quick menu provides you with several scan to options to be more organized and productive. Scan to a folder, to a printer, or a new email as an attachment. Scan printed pages back into a Word, Excel, or PowerPoint file for text editing. Scan a business card and automatically extract the contact information into changeable fields. Even scan directly to your existing Evernote, Dropbox, Google, or SugarSync account. Need to scan to another application or web service not already in the quick menu? If it can open, attach, or insert a PDF or JPEG file from Windows, chances are the highly versatile ScanSnap folder function can scan directly into it. The incredible ScanSnap iX500 with GI processor gives you the intelligence, speed, reliability, and high-quality imaging you need to convert paperwork into data that can be easily read, searched, shared, and stored. It's the ultimate productivity tool.
As I said, this is the one that I have in my office. This is the one that sits on my desk, and when I have files, business cards, or whatever come through my office, especially bills, I open them up in my office, I pay the bill, since my computer's paying there, most of them paid online. I run it through, actually I date it, got a stamp that says date, run it through the scanner and into the shredder. Nothing's on my desk, right? It's all digital, it's on my computer, and it's saved up in 2 or 3 places. Double-sided scanning. What I do, I lost?
Question.
Yes. I lost my file for some reason.
JJ, well,
Lester?
now does it name them? How does it scan them, or does it separate?
It's there, but it's not going out to the printer. Check my settings on these projectors. Not me. Here's goodbye.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay. Yes, question?
Does it name these files, or how does it name?
It saves it according to the date, and then it gives it a file number. So if you want to go back in later on and change it, do a rename, you can do it. For example, let's say for example, my Xfinity file, or I scan my Xfinity bill. On my computer, which I'll talk about later, on my computer I have a folder that says bills and Xfinity, so then I just slide it in there. And I'll show you a bit later on where it comes up, it shows you how to organize it. And it comes up with all the folders, all you gotta do is slide them and move them over to a particular folder. Question?
So that one does not do pictures or negative?
It will do pictures because it says JPEGs. If you want to do pictures in it, it will do pictures. It won't do slides.
Okay.
It's just a document type scanner.
Okay.
Whether it be paper documents, photos, or whatever. It will do it. I don't do it for photos. I've done some photos in it, but it's not the purpose for this one here. It's basically for documents.
Okay.
All right. Double-sided. You already did that. Double-sided, 50-sheet feed. It scans to the cloud. If you want to create a cloud account where you want to be able to access that file or something from anywhere, you can create a cloud account. Wi-Fi, smartphone, tablet. The smartphone tablet, which I like about it, is I have a file. I want it to carry it with me, so I put the paper into the scanner, do the Wi-Fi connection between my phone, and it scans it right to my phone app. So I can carry, whether it be a picture if I wanted to, use that to do something else, but here again, a document, like I want to carry the document somewhere, I want a PDF copy of it, it'll scan it directly to your phone or tablet, all right, through their app. Okay. Let's close, this is where it open. As I said, PDF, JPEGs, one touch, push a little blue button on the front, it scans the documents, whether you put 1, 2, 50 documents in there, and it perfectly does double-sided, all right? And it has a 50-page automatic feed. Yes?
Just out of curiosity, a number of manufacturers make a sheet scanner like this, document scanner like that. Why did you pick this one versus?
Because the first one I looked at, NEAT had one out. NEAT had one out for quite a few years. I didn't like the organization program with the NEAT file. I had a friend of mine had it. I didn't like the organization. I didn't like the way it scanned. This one came up, and I reviewed it and checked it out for a couple months before I bought it. Especially with the automatic scanning to Wi-Fi connection, basically, and automatic scanning to my tablet or which that sold me. Plus the two-sided, and I like the way it organized the files. All right, and that's the reason I chose that over the Canon and the Epson and the NEAT. Like I said, NEAT's been out for a while. All right. Yes.
Can I ask how much it is?
For something,
Okay.
depending. Harriet.
Why, if the space is a problem, wouldn't you have a printer that also scanned?
You can, and I will talk about that.
Okay.
All right.
Because I have that.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the.
But like I said, printers, and this is something else. This is sitting on my desk, printers at the other desk. Printers are large, and I've done it with the printer. This is the organization, okay, the folders. This is card binders, email, mobile, Dropbox, Google Docs, and Evernote. It will scan to all those applications if you use them. But as you can see, right here is the scan of folders. This is my folder organization that I will have set up on my computer. You guys got a question back there? You want to share with us? Okay, thank you. All right.
Sorry.
I will ascertain questions a little bit later on. This is a folder that I scan into, but I can scan it to any one of these type of folders that I want. This is what you see on your screen in your computer. So when it scans it, it will scan it in as a document file, back up, push the wrong button, as a document file. You need to take that document file, back up one more, take that document file and move it into the folder that you have created. As I say, you might have one for bills, finances, whatever. So you get to see a representation of the file that you created, and then you can move it to any folder you want to. What Bobby was asking before, down here you'll see the naming. This says whatever, but it usually comes out with a name that has the date and the number of how many files you have scanned so far. But you can go in and actually click on that and change the file name to whatever you want it to be, and then move it to the folder that you want it to move to. Yes, Bobby?
Well, the fact that you have thumbnails to show you, like when I scan things in the past, it said scan 1, scan 2, and I'm looking at it, okay, do I have to open it up in order to see what's scanned?
Well, like I said, for example, let's say I'm taking my bill from Xfinity, and I put it in 2019, for example. Well, I know I scanned one in January, one in February, whatever. It will have that date on it, so I can go back and know which month that was. I don't really have to rename it, because it's all going to be in that folder called Xfinity or water bill or whatever. If I wanted to, yeah, I can go rename it, but what's the sense when it's already telling me what date I scanned it? Yeah.
Can I ask
Yes.
a background technical question? What's the resolution and what's the maximum file size? And I see they're all, since they're on your monitor, they're RGBs. The color model, okay.
Yeah, they're JPEG files. This is the thing with scan. It will scan color or photo.
How big can the file be?
Depending on how many sheets, and they're not that big. I would say, well, you know, document files are usually 1, 2, 3K, and depending on how many sheets you put in there and how much graphics in the file itself, it's going to determine the size of the file. But I wouldn't say, in most cases, you won't have anything bigger than about 25K file.
And the resolution, what do you think that would be?
300.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, file folders, renaming files and folders that you want to. You can view them, you can search them, you can print them, and you can email them, all from the program. So here again, everything's organized for you through the program. Then we're going to go to 2-in-1 scanners, which we just talked about. Yes, I have a big scanner sitting on my desk, and it looks like that. And it does the same thing. It has a scanner on top, document feed on top. It does double-sided, but it also prints. And you can't see it on this side, but the other side, it has a little port that It has, you put a USB thumb drive in it, and it will scan to that thumb drive and save PDF files for you. All right? Now, like I said, if you don't want to pay the $500 or $400 model, you can do this. But this is the bigger one. I just replaced it with a smaller model because it has the 2 folders and everything, or 2 drives and 2 drawers in it. But yeah, the smaller ones are out there and they do the same thing. And they'll do, I don't know if most of them do double-sided. That's one of the reasons I went with this, because it does double-sided. Okay? But this here again scans, prints photos, it does faxing, wireless printing. What I like about the wireless printing, I can sit downstairs on the iPad and I'm seeing something that I want to order or whatever, like Wi-Fi, and have to print out that page. That's the nice thing about Wi-Fi. 500 sheet capacity, scans double-sided, scans the USB drive or network drive. Color touch screens on the front, so here again you go and organize. 2 paper trays, auto document feed, and scan to a USB. All right? Yes?
What's the model and?
This one here is a 8740.
From company?
HP. Everything in my house is HP. It's in the handout. Yes?
Does it double side stable?
No, it doesn't staple.
Okay.
No. My office is not that big. I can't afford stapling. So I do have, I have a stapler in my house though. It's called Manuel.
Oh,
Yeah, just like the piece of paper you have in front of you right now, that's manual stapling. Yes. Okay, but yeah, no, it doesn't staple. This is the front of it, as I said. And right there is a port you can plug in a USB thumb drive, and it will save the files that you scan to the thumb drive. A little bit more information. Touch screen, printing, calculating, and it also has an HP application which you can scan directly from your phone or tablet to scan to it. And there again, using Wi-Fi, you can scan from your tablet or whatever to your scanner. And then we talked about 3D scanning. Not everybody needs a 3D scanning, but I like toys. I bought this about 3 or 4 years ago, and maybe a year later, Robin said, "Gee, have you seen this?" Yeah, I bought one about a year ago. But this is by HP. This is something that everybody does not need. I don't know why I bought it sometimes, because I no longer work anymore, and I don't really need it. But it's fun. It's a toy. As you see, it's great for designing brochures or whatever.
There was a thought for your use. The room that they have here at the library, the 3D printers, you can use this to help.
Yes, you can. And this here is designed to go with a 3D printer, although I have not found a need for a 3D printer yet, and I don't want to make guns and stuff like that. So,
There's something you haven't found a need for?
I haven't.
I can't imagine.
Maybe when I was still working, and I was working as a graphic designer or not, I probably would have gotten one. But that my last year, I didn't work as a graphic designer. I worked as a teaching guns. But anyhow, I don't have a need for a 3D printer, and right now I don't use this as much as I used to use it. All right, but it's there. The thing about this one too, you see the 3D elements it has on the screen. There's also a little rotating, like Lazy Susan device you put on it, and it'll sit there and rotate your device and scan it in 3D as you're rotating, and then you bring it up on screen and do all kinds of weird things with it. But this is neat. This one here right now is running about $800. I think when I bought it, it was like $1,800. They got a new version of it that runs $3,000. But I don't need the upgrade since I don't use it that much anymore. But all-in-one printer, overhead scanning device, dual touch screen, because you see on the screen it's a touch screen and you have a pad down below that also has a touch screen as you see in the video, which you can use. Touch mat and scanning bed. And there's a little rotating device. As you can see, you put it on the screen and it rotates and scans your device in 3D. It's neat. It's a neat little toy. And this is the new one, the G-Series. More memory, basically the same thing, and $2,000 more. But all of this goes back to what we talked about at the beginning. Digital pack rat. What do you do with it? Organize. Once you scan it, what good is it if you don't organize it? Organization is like we started the club, and one of the things we started the club, we started talking about computers. And computer's nothing but a file cabinet. You open the drawer of the file cabinet, be drive C, and you create individual file folders within that drawer. And you may create folders within that folder. And then you stick things in there according to what folder name is. If you don't organize it, what's the use of scanning it? Then you got to go searching for it. But Mike asked me for a picture of the club's Christmas party back in 1997. Mike, give me about 5 minutes, I'll get it for you. Open up this cabinet, open up LCACE, open up picture files, open up 1980, whatever, and then scan through, look through the pictures. Within 5 minutes, I got that picture for him because it's all organized. Yes?
Question on the Sprout. Is the Sprout only for PCs?
Only for PC and it's only by HP. Yes.
It's on PCs?
Yes.
Okay.
They said my whole office, HP. If you yell HP, my whole office will stand up. Okay? Documents, birth certificates, deeds. Here again, I have a folder for each one of those. But they're all little documents, right? Photos, family photos, travel, whatever it may be. They're up under pictures. They're up under whatever folder they're creating. My family does a reunion every year for the last 47 years, although I've only been a member of that family for 27 years now. But I can go back and find pictures from the first year. 1995 was the first one I went to. And I can go back in 1995 and find all the family reunion pictures that I took for that year within a few minutes because it's all organized. Bills, taxes, yeah. We all do taxes every year, and we get the little folders back with all the paperwork in it. I have an accountant, she lives in Texas. All the paperwork that I send her, I scan it. I send her all the paperwork, but I have a copy of it in case it gets lost in the mail. All the stuff that I send her. And when she sends it all back to me before I pay Uncle Sam, I scan it again and put it in that folder for 2018, whatever it may be. But I have a digital file of it all. And as I said, all my stuff is backed up at least 3 different places. So I'm not going to lose anything, hopefully. Home, insurance, repairs, whatever. They're all scanned. Although I keep them in the safe or whatever it may be, but they're all scanned digitally. So I know where to find something like that. Where's my car registration at scan? Where's my payments for insurance scan? And I can go back and find it within a few minutes. That's the file cabinet. It's neat as compared to when we showed at the beginning, right? But that file cabinet is actually your computer. And everything in there now is digital. What happened to that clutter I had on my desk? I minimalized it. I got it all down, turned it to a digital file. The resources for this: PowerPoint, Fuji, Viewpoint, ISCAN, Epson, HP. Those are resources that in the handout that I gave you. Most of this whole presentation is up on the club website. If you want to go back and look at it, the PDF files on the club website. Any questions?
Yes. I have names for different media beyond this. That is, a lot of 8mm films taken when I was a kid, I like to put onto a CD for the next generation. Costco let us have that, but it's very expensive.
Yes, it is.
30 or 40 of these. You want to pick out, and you can't just play them very carelessly because they're fragile. Any thoughts about equipment for it?
I tried it at one time. It's not easy to do, and basically what I would suggest is find a service that does it. If you go to Groupon, every now and then Groupon will have some good deals on you. There was one that I found out about as a place called Art Camera in Milwaukee. They do it. But like I said, any way you look at it, it's expensive. I had a lot of 8mm film that I took basically back in these early 80s of the kids and everything, and I've had them all converted to digital, yes. But like I said, it's not cheap, either way you look at it.
There was one tape, I just have to tell the story quickly, Mike. We went, at 8mm was actually a 16mm strip with a cast, and it uses half of it. So then when you finish it, you turn the cartridge over, and it uses the other half. We went down to Miami Beach in Florida in June. Everything is very faint, light-colored buildings, and my sister dove into the pool. And of course, as soon as she got out, she said, I want another quarter to do it again. So my dad used that, and then before we got over to Naples, he would turn it over to the other side, and the only thing in Naples was a big old hotel and Jungle Larry's alligator pits. He forgot he had turned it over once already, and he double exposed my sister diving into the pool, which was black full of alligators. She's going this way, the gators going like this. I want that film.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I have 4 zip drives at home, which I don't have a reader. The best idea I could come up with would be to go to eBay, buy a computer, download the zip drives on my PC and then sell it or something.
I don't know if I still have these zip drives floating around. I used to have a portable zip drive. I don't know if I still have it. Yeah, I was back in the zip drive days. I had a few.
Well, it'd be great if you
Not necessarily all still readable.
Yeah, that's the question too.
That's the problem, because I have the drive and the cutter units also to put in. I tried it even on the original computer and it didn't read.
Yep.
What's the
But I can tell you that for many of these things, if you can't do it yourself, there is a company that's local in Northbrook called Timberhold, and it will digitize almost anything that you've done, from 8mm film to mini cassettes to whatever you might have, to photos. You give them a table full of photos, just give them the boxes, and it pretty much automatically, by code or something, I don't know, by technology, it organizes it so that you don't have to sit. Yes, some people give them organized photos, but I've also been in there where it's been a box full of photos, digitize these, and then you can also look at it on the web, and there's different pricing, but there's also a free price to see how it looks. It's really pretty cool.
What's the name?
Yourself.
What's the name, she said?
Memorable.
Yes, I went to a presentation at Art Camera in Milwaukee a few months ago, and I know that's a service that they have up there. It's basically the same thing. You give them a box or whatever files you want, they'll digitize it for you. I think I put an article in the newsletter a couple months ago about Art Camera. Yeah.
What's the name of that one?
Art Camera, Milwaukee. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I have software on my cell phone to automatically adjust things that you scan, it turns it into, looks like a scanner.
Yeah, there are apps that, actually I just saw one recently on the iPad, iPhone and tablet. That basically is called Scanner. And basically does the same thing. It scans and creates a PDF file. Yes.
But it takes something that's, you don't have to line it up perfectly.
Right, it takes it and then it aligns it.
It
Yes.
lines it before it's processed.
Yes. Any other questions?
Okay, so,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can add this to your staff.
Oh, wow. I have the equipment up here. You want to come up and look at it? You can come up and take